Live. Oh my goodness. It was a little bit of a challenge to get started. My name is Heidi Giesbrecht, and with me I have my partner Richard, and we will do some introductions and then we will chat a little. Rich, I will let you go first and we'll go from there.
My name is Richard Giesbrecht, and Heidi and I have been married for just over 32 years. Um, my background is primarily in technology as a developer and as a database administrator. I currently manage a team of database administrators for a financial institution. And in my spare time, I bang around with tech a bit. And for the princely sum that Heidi pays me, I am on retainer for whatever technology issues she encounters in her various realms, whether it's with Substack, Riverside, laptops, desktops, phones, just about anything. Um, these are not necessarily my areas of expertise, but I've slowly but surely figured things out. Um, that's a little bit about me.
Mhm. Well, and I am very thankful that you're here. For those of you who are maybe catching this on Substack Live and wondering what PEBKAC is, we will talk about that in a moment. The whole point of this is that we are actually streaming through Riverside, which is the software I use for my podcasts. It is a setup that we're trying out because in 2 weeks I have the opportunity to do one of these lives with 6 other therapists, which is really exciting. Substack, however, only allows you to have the main Substack person and 2 guests. And so the way that we can host this is going to be through Riverside. Now, the one thing I have not figured out is how to be able to see the comments on Substack while this is happening. So if anyone has any wisdom on that front, please do feel free to private message me and let me know. And we will take a look and see if we can figure it out. But we decided this time we were just going to stay on because I considered deleting our previous attempts as they are on my timeline, but I'm all about authenticity. So why not show you all the botched attempts that didn't go anywhere? So all of that to say, here we are. And Rich, I learned PEBKAC from you. Do you want to tell everyone what PEBKAC means?
PEBKAC is a term that tech support people use with users, and it stands for Problem Exists Between Computer and Keyboard. Or actually, sorry, between chair and keyboard. The other one that I use a great deal is Picnic, Problem in Chair, Not in Computer.
Ah, yes. Well, today the problem definitely was me because apparently I was doing everything right and thinking we weren't live. So if you go back and listen to some of our botched attempts, you'll hear me talking about, yeah, I actually don't think we're live. I think we're going to have to stop this. So we figured after 3 failed attempts, it would be wise to just actually do a recording and yeah, let you meet Richard and see that this does in fact work. Yeah, so Rich, I have really appreciated your willingness to always jump in and help me figure things out, even when it's not your expertise, because your knowledge around technology is far greater than mine is. And I'm a fairly tech savvy person. I can figure out a lot, but sometimes there are things that I run into that just stymie me. And so, yes, you are on the large monthly retainer. um, Tell me a little bit about how you got on Substack. I know you are more of a reader on Substack than a writer on Substack. I don't think you've probably published a few notes, maybe, but
I, I think I've published a grand total of one note. I may have commented on one or two Substack posts, but primarily I used it as an information resource when I discovered that the algorithms in other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter or X. It seemed to be a lot more noise.
Mm,
And what I was finding with Substack is that I was getting a much higher signal to noise ratio.
yeah.
And I was discovering people who would not just be going for the quick 15-second soundbite, but actually researching and providing thoughtful
Mm,
conversation starters as well as thoughtful information about various topics. And I found a number of people that I've really appreciated learning from. And so I follow and subscribe a lot and go through my feed a fair bit. And I suppose the next thing to do would be to actually turn things around and actually start spitting things out and restacking instead of just reading, to make this a little bit more of a conversation rather than just a one-way street.
yeah. I'm curious, do you, when you read posts, do you like them, or do you just read them and take them in and leave it at that?
In the majority of cases, I just read them.
Yeah.
I have the thing is in my head, there's a lot of them that I like or agree with, but I haven't gone the next step to
Mm,
actually clicking like or restack or actually commenting on the notes or the posts.
yeah. Actually, I think that's really kind of cool to hear, because I think sometimes, I mean, I am on the opposite end where I am writing notes every day and weekly posts and putting a lot out into the Substack world. And I think sometimes as creators, there's a sense of, is anyone actually reading what I'm putting out there? And so it's actually kind of good to hear that, yeah, there might be some people like you who are reading and really enjoying it and actively participating in their own mind, but they might not be liking and might not be commenting or restacking. And that doesn't mean that you're not putting good stuff out there. It just means people interact in a different way. And it's interesting because just yesterday I read a piece and commented on it, because she was talking about, as a teacher, using classroom discussions as proof that people are understanding. And so she had talked about how that doesn't necessarily happen that way for everyone. And I commented on it saying, as a kid and even in high school and university, we'd have classes where classroom participation was highly valued and you actually got marks deducted if you didn't participate. And I always found it really frustrating because I was more of a sit back and observe and really think about it. And maybe in a week I'll have something to say about it kind of person. And so it's just, as you were talking, I thought, oh, I guess it could be that we have different kinds of readers on Substack as well. The ones that read and engage immediately and comment on it, whereas others may read and really value and appreciate it, but not necessarily comment or like. Um, so
I,
yeah.
I think what you're describing is how you and I are quite different in how we interact with material.
Hmm.
Whereas you are very much a verbal processor and a journaler and someone who um, interacts essentially in real time with the material. I tend to be the person who takes it in. It has to stew around in my mind for a bit before I'm ready to actually respond to it. And so actually the part I need to learn to be uh, more diligent about is actually voicing my reaction and my interaction rather than just making it an internal conversation.
Hmm. Yeah, well, it's always welcomed, both here and on Substack, I'm sure.
Mm.
But yeah, very cool. Well, thank you for being so patient with me. This was supposed to be a short 15-minute check in, and we've literally spent an hour and a half figuring this out. But I think we now have a path forward. I have not quite figured out the comments, but we will somehow work that piece out. And in the meantime, thank you if you have joined us and have been watching live, or if you're watching the replay. We are happy to have you here, and feel free to tune in on the 19th of August when we do our Substack, the Therapists of Substack chat, which I'm really looking forward to. So thank you, Rich, for your help. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.